Alright, so welcome back. In this lesson we're going to be studying some new chord progressions, some new ways, some new movements that we do a lot of in music. And of course, like we explained before, learning the sounds and learning how to hear where the music's going is kind of like learning to recognize the voice of a relative. The 1, the 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, or 7. You learn to recognize those because you're hearing them every single day. These progressions that we're going to teach you today, they're not meant to cover all the different ways that can be, a movement can go from 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, but instead what they're meant to do is to start teaching you as you learn and practice these progressions every single day. They're actually teaching you to recognize the movements in the different keys and to understand what you're playing. So it's not meant to cover every single different way you can move, but it's basically teaching you to recognize those voices. Okay, so today we're going to go over the sound that goes from the 1 to the 6 and the 1 to the 2. Now we learned last week the 1 to the 4 and the 1 to the 5, the straight there, the 1, 3, 4, the 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4, and then the 1 to the 5, 1 to the 6 to the 5, the 1 to the 7 to the 6 to the 5. So we learned those different ways we can get to the 4 and to the 5 chord. Of course, there's many other ways you can get there, but those are just a couple of basic ways to get you started. Another real common movement in music is going to the 6 chord, the minor 6. Obviously, the most common way is going to be straight there. Okay, we've already gone through that movement basically in the last lesson when we went from 1 to 6 to 5. So we're not going to necessarily go over that in every key again because, like I said, we did that last week. So I don't want to give you double material there. But a couple common ways that we get to the 6 chord are, of course, by walking down to the 1 over 5. Okay, so to the 5 over 7, from the 1 to the 5 over 7 to the minor 6. Okay, that's one common way that we get there. So 1, 5 over 7, which in the key of C is G over B to A minor. Now, once again, we did that last week when we went over the 1, 7, 6, 5 movement. So we're not necessarily going to go over that in every single key, although it is kind of a different sound. So let's go ahead and do it just for practice. So in the key of C, G over B, A minor, okay. D flat, A flat over C, B flat minor, okay, D, A over C sharp, to B minor, okay, the key of E flat, B flat over D, to C minor, key of E, to B over D sharp, to C sharp minor, okay, key of F, C over E, to D minor, key of G flat, D flat over F, E flat minor, okay, key of G, D over F sharp, E minor, okay, key of A flat, E flat over G, to F minor, okay, A, E over G sharp, F sharp minor, key of B flat, F over A, to G minor, key of B finally, B, to G flat over B flat, to A flat minor 7, okay? Back at C. So that's the most common way to get there besides going straight there, is the 1, 5 over 7 to the 6. Another real common way we get there is we go 1 to 3 to 6, okay? You see that like in the song Anointing, Follow Me? Anointing. You start on the 3, then go to the 6. But, we use that in a lot of songs. You'll see that progression a lot. 3 to the 6. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over that in a couple different keys. So 1, C, E minor 7, A minor 7. Okay, D flat, F minor 7, B flat minor 7, D, F sharp minor 7, B minor 7, E flat, G minor 7, C minor 7, E, A flat minor 7, C sharp minor 7, okay, F, A minor 7 to D minor 7, G flat, B flat minor 7 to E flat minor 7, G, B minor 7 to E minor 7, A flat, C minor 7, F minor 7, A, C sharp minor 7, to F sharp minor 7, B flat, D minor 7 to G minor 7, B, E flat minor 7 to A flat minor 7. Okay, that's a real common way we get there. Another real common way we get there, that's of course the more natural way. We go the minor 7, which is naturally found in the key, to the minor 6. But there's also, we see this really, really commonly, the 1 to that 3, 7, not minor, but actually a dominant 7 to the minor 6. We see this a whole lot. So let's do that in different keys. So C, E7, A minor 7, okay, D flat, F7, B flat minor 7, D, G flat 7, B minor 7. You see how it's a totally different sound? Okay, so E, G7, C minor 7, okay, E, A flat 7, C sharp minor 7, alright, F, A7 to D minor 7, let's go G flat, B flat minor 7, E flat minor 7, G, B minor 7, I'm sorry, G, B7, E minor 7, okay, A flat, C7, F minor 7, alright, A, C sharp 7 to F sharp minor 7, alright, let's go B flat, D7, G minor 7, alright, let's go finally B, E flat 7, alright, to A flat minor 7. Now this exercise actually does a couple of things. It teaches you also to recognize the 3, 7 and the 3 minor 7. So you see all the different movements, they're teaching you to recognize different voices on the different chords. Alright, so those are a couple ways to go to the 6th chord, a couple of real common ways. Of course we use the 7, sharp 5, sharp 9 a whole lot too, but you may not be to that point where you know that chord quite yet. But if you do, God bless you, we'll go over that in the later part of this course as well. But it's just, alright, D flat, it would be like this, F7, sharp 5, sharp 9, B flat minor 9, alright, D, F sharp 7, sharp 5, sharp 9, to B minor 7 or B minor 9, and E flat, G7, sharp 5, sharp 9, C minor 9, alright, E, A flat 7, sharp 5, sharp 9, to C sharp minor 9, F, A7, sharp 5, sharp 9, to D minor 9, okay, G flat, B flat 7, sharp 5, sharp 9, to E flat minor 9, G, B7, sharp 5, sharp 9, to E minor 9, alright, A flat, C7, sharp 5, sharp 9, to F minor 9, A, and we'll go D flat 7, sharp 5, sharp 9. Let me show you this one. D flat 7, sharp 5, sharp 9 to F sharp minor 9. Alright, B flat, D7, sharp 5, sharp 9 to G minor 9. These are some tongue twisters here. Alright, B, E flat 7, sharp 5, sharp 9 to A flat minor 9. I just want to show you that because that's a real common chord you hear a lot in church music, and it's good to be able to recognize that and that sound, at least once you get to that point. Maybe it'd be a good exercise for you for a chord going to the 6 as well, even if it's a new chord for you. Okay, so that's basically most of the ways that we can get to the 6. Another really, really common way, though, I do want to show you, and this may be a little bit more of an advanced concept here that we may actually go over again in the future, is we go from the 7 to the 3 to the 6. Now, for all the chords now we've learned, when we play the 7 in our left hand, we use the 5 over it, okay? But naturally, the 7, and this may be something we just totally cover in another lesson as well. The 7 is naturally found as a diminished chord in a key. So B, D, F is what B diminished normally is, and normally we make it a 7. Okay, so A, B, D, F with B in the left hand. All right. Now that chord sometimes will precede one of those three chords that we use to go to the 6. So just be warned if you've heard that before. Okay, if you haven't heard it before, you probably will one day. So it's just 1, 7, with a diminished chord. So B diminished with the 7th added. I usually call it B minor 7 with a flat 5th. Easier way to think of it, I think, but sometimes that will precede the 3 going to the 6. So we're going to do that really quickly in a couple of keys, just for those of you that are a little more advanced here. D flat, C minor 7 sharp, flat 5, and then C minor 7 with the flat 5 to F7 to B flat minor 7. Okay, now remember you can use any one of those 3 options we just taught you. On the 3, the minor 7, the regular 7, or the 7 sharp 5 sharp 9 for those of you more advanced. All right, so D. All right, C sharp minor 7 with a flat 5 to G flat 7 to B minor 7. All right, E flat. All right, D minor 7 with a flat 5, or in other words, D diminished. Okay, you can play it like that. To G7 to C minor 7. I'm going to play it nice and slow. All right, E. Okay, it's going to be E flat, minor 7 with a flat 5. All right, to A flat 7 to C sharp minor 7. All right, F. E diminished with the 7th added. I'm going to use the other name there. It's also known as an E minor 7 with a flat 5 to A7 to D minor. All right, G flat, F minor 7 with a flat 5, B flat 7, E flat minor 7. All right, G, and then we have F sharp minor 7 with a flat 5 to B7 to E minor 7. All right, A flat, G minor 7 with a flat 5 to C7 to F minor 7. All right, we have A flat minor 7 with a flat 5, D flat 7 to F sharp minor 7. All right, B flat, A diminished with a 7th added, same chord, D7 to G minor 7. Then we have B flat minor 7 with a flat 5 to E flat 7 to A flat minor 7. Now this is over your head, don't worry about it for now, we'll go over this later. If it is over your head too, you can also play just the plain diminished chord. 1, 7 diminished, 3, 7 to A minor 7. So in other words, C, B diminished to E7 to A minor 7. Remember, all a diminished chord is just a minor chord with the 5th note moved down a note, 5th note flatted, okay? So for instance, E minor, there's an E diminished, okay? A minor, there's A diminished, all right? So pretty easy chord, just think about it as a minor and then flat the 5th. And then we were making it fancy by adding the 7th as well. Okay, in fact, you can drop the root note on and just add the 7th as well. Okay, so those are those are your 3 to 6 movements. Now, even though the 3 minor 7 is naturally found on the scale, we actually more commonly use the 3-7, which is why you saw me do it in the other exercises as well. Okay, and of course, you could always use the 7 to the 3-7 sharp 5 sharp 9, the more advanced movement we taught a minute ago as well. So those are a couple of really important movements to the 6. Practice all of those, get those down well. Okay, there's other ones as well, but we're not going to cover those now. We'll cover those probably in some later lessons. But those are the 6 movements. Now let's go over some of the 2 movements. And actually, I'm sorry, I want to show you one more movement to the 6 before we get done here. And that'd be the 1 to 3-7 to the 3-7 over the sharp 5 to the A minor 7. Okay, that's another really common movement we use. All right, so in C it would be E7 over G sharp to A minor 7. In D flat, it would be F7 to F7 over A to B flat minor 7. In D, it would be G flat 7 to G flat 7 over B flat to B minor 7. In E, it's G7 to G7 over B to C minor 7. In E, it's A flat 7 over C to C sharp minor 7. In F, it's A7 over C sharp to D minor 7. In G flat, it's B flat 7 over B flat 7 over D to E flat minor 7. In G, it's B7 over D sharp to E minor. In A flat, it's C7 over E, F minor 7. In A, it's D flat 7 over F to F sharp minor 7. In B flat, it's D7 over F sharp to G minor. In B, It's E flat 7 to E flat 7 over G to A flat minor 7. Now this also brings in another really important note here too, because a lot of times we may go from the 5 to the 6. Okay. A lot of times that's one really common movement that you'll hear there, right here, is the 4 to 5 to minor 6. Okay. So let's practice that in a couple of keys. So C, F, G, and then to A minor. Alright, D flat, G flat, to A flat, which is your 5, to B flat minor 7, B flat minor. Alright, D, G, A, B minor. Alright, E flat, A flat, B flat, C minor. Alright, E, B A, to B, to C sharp minor. Alright, F is going to be B flat, to C, to D minor. Alright, G flat is going to be B, to D flat, to E flat minor. Alright, and G is going to be C, to D, to E minor. Alright, A flat is going to be D flat, to E flat, to F minor. Alright, A is going to be D, to E, to F sharp minor. Alright, and B flat is going to be E flat, to F, to G minor. Alright, B is going to be E, to G flat, to A flat minor. Alright, so you'll hear that a lot. 4, 5, 6. Of course, you may hear any progression you learn forwards, it may also go backwards. Just about. Most progressions will. You also hear that a lot. The 4 goes to the 6, to the 5. You know, show me your face. I want to see your glory. You know, by William McDowell. You hear that a lot. 6 to the 5. So it goes 4 to the 6 to the 5. Okay, practice that in all the keys. It's basically just the same movement we just did with the same chords, but just in a different order. So F to the, okay, so 4, 6 to the 5. Practice that one. Another really common one I do want to leave you with, we may just have to make this whole lesson about the 6 chord, it seems like there's so many different ways to go to it, is the sometimes, and this one's really common to like the 3-7, to the 3-7 over the sharp 5, to the 6, except you're not playing the 3, you're just playing it over the sharp 5 going to the 6. Okay? And this you can actually use over any minor chord, really. It's a little walk up. So it's basically E7 over G sharp to A minor. Okay, so C, E7 over G sharp to A minor. Alright, so in D flat it would be A7 over A, F7 over A to B flat minor. In D, it would be G flat 7 over B flat to B minor. Alright, in the key of E flat, it would be G7 over B to C minor. In the key of E, it would be A flat 7 over C to C sharp minor 7. In the key of F, it would be A7 over C sharp to D minor 7. Key of G flat, it would be B flat 7 over D to E flat minor 7. Alright, the key of G would be B7 over D sharp to E minor. The key of A flat, C7 over E to F minor. Okay, in the key of A, C7 over F to F sharp minor. Key of B flat, D7 over F sharp to G minor. And finally in the key of B, E flat 7 over G to A flat minor 7. Now, that could also be turned into a diminished chord. Some of you advanced students may recognize that. It could be turned into a diminished 7th. Again, the key of C, C, A flat diminished seventh, D, F, A flat, B, A minor 7. We'll learn more about that chord later in the course. If you don't know now, do not worry about it. Just like the crazy 7 sharp 5 sharp 9 chord we went over in the diminished 7th we went over earlier. Do not worry about it if you don't know those chords. We will be going over them in more detail later in the course. All right, so those are most of your chord progressions you're going to hear going to the 6th chord. Now, the 6th chord can also be a major chord. All right, this is something that happens a lot. When you see that happen, you'll hear this progression a lot, but sometimes it just turns into a 6 dominant 7th, like in the song "There's No Telling." There is no telling what God will do if you believe. There is no telling. Okay, sometimes you just go straight there. So we'll practice that. 1 for the 6 with a dominant 7th. Okay, D flat to B flat 7. All right, D to B 7. All right, E flat to C 7. E to C sharp 7. I'm sorry. E to C sharp 7. F to D 7. All right, G flat to E flat 7. Alright, G to E7, A to F7, A to F sharp 7, B flat to G7, and finally B to A flat 7. Okay, now a lot of times we'll do a half step walk down too, so alright, so C to B flat 7 to A7, alright, D flat, B7 to B flat 7, D, C7 to B7, E flat, D flat 7 to C7, E, D7 to D flat 7, F, E flat 7 to D7. So basically it's the note right, it's basically your flatted 7th chord of that key. F, E flat 7 to D7, alright, G flat, E7 to E flat 7, G, F7 to E7, A flat, G flat 7 to F7, A, G7 to F sharp 7, B flat, A flat 7 to G7, and finally B, A7 to A flat 7. Alright, you could also do all 3 notes as a walk down. Your 7, flatted 7th, 6. Okay, so C7, B7, B flat 7, A7. Alright, I'm not going to call it each chord here, but it's just start on D flat, D flat, C, B, B flat, D, D, D flat, C, B, E flat, D flat, D, D flat, C. Of course, I'm playing the 7ths, but E, E, E flat, D, D flat. Alright, F, F, E, E flat, D, G flat, G flat, F, E, E flat, G, G, G flat, F, E, A flat. Alright, same things here, just walking down. A, B flat, and B, back to C. Alright, you hear that a lot as well, going to the 6th when it's a major or dominant 7th. Alright, so that's the 6. We're going to touch very briefly on the 2 chord as well. And I know that we're quickly running out of time, so we're going to go over the rest of the 2 chord next week. But, of course, the most common way to get there is just straight there from the 1. Okay, so in C it would be C to D minor. Okay, in D flat would be D flat to E flat minor. In D would be D to E minor. Alright, in E flat, E flat to F minor. In E, the E to F sharp minor. In F, the F to G minor. Okay, and you can make it a minor 7th or just a minor if you want, whichever. G flat, A flat minor. Alright, G to A minor. Alright, A flat to B flat minor. A to B minor. B flat to C minor. And finally B to C sharp minor. Now you may recognize that movement too. You might already start recognizing this because remember we used it when we went from 1 to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We use that little movement there. 1 to 2. Okay? Just a really brief way to tell you how we get to the 2 as well is from the 1 to the 6 to the 2. Okay? So C, A minor, D minor. Alright? So D flat, B flat minor, E flat minor. Alright? D, B minor, E minor. Alright, E flat, C minor, F minor, okay, E, C sharp minor, F sharp minor. Alright, and we've got a little error message here, sorry about that. Alright, E, one more time, to C sharp minor, to F sharp minor. We've got F, to D minor, to G minor. Alright, we've got G flat, to E flat minor, our 6 to our 2, A flat minor. We've got G to E minor to A minor. Alright, we've got A flat to F minor to B flat minor. We've got A, F sharp minor to B minor. We've got B flat to G minor to C minor. Alright, we've got B to A flat minor to D flat minor. Alright? So that's the real common way we get from the 1 to the 6 to the 2. You see that a lot as well. It's a real common movement to the 2. And that's usually followed by the 5 back to the 1. So 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. Real common movement there. Or you may hear it as 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. Another real common one that we'll go over also in a later lesson. Another real common way we get to the 2 is by going from the 1 to the dominant 7th to the minor 2. Okay, so it'll be 1, A7, D minor. Okay, D flat, B flat 7, E flat minor 7. All right, so D, B7, E minor, E flat, C7, F minor, E, C sharp 7, F sharp minor, F, D7, G minor, G flat, E flat 7, A flat minor. Alright, we have G, E7, A minor. We have A flat, F7 to B flat minor. So A flat, F7 to B flat minor. We have A to G flat 7 to B minor. We have B flat, G7 to C minor, and then finally we have B, A flat 7 to C sharp minor. And I'm going to come back and teach you also some different ways, some other ways we can go to the 2. I know this has been a lot thrown at you, but practice all these exercises, and you're going to start, I promise you're going to start to hear them in songs. You're going to start to hear these movements. And I will also attempt to put some things in the study info where you will actually have some example songs. But just learn to start recognizing these movements, you know, that we went over today, the 1 to the 6, the 1 to the 5/7 to the 6. Everything that we learned today, learn these in all the keys, practice them in all the keys. Try to do it once a day because that's really how you learn how to recognize the voice. Remember, just like we talked about, you learn to recognize the voice of a different relative because you've heard their voice every day. Same thing with these movements, with these chords, with the 1 to 3. You start recognizing these different movements because you're hearing their voices every day. Alright, so God bless, and we'll see you back here for your next lesson.